First off, hello. This is my black sweater by Satin Buttons on Instagram. And don't mind all the pilling, that's my own fault. But we're doing an updated dog food routine. So my dogs eat this now. It is the Vital or Fresh Pet Vital grain-free, what's it called? Salmon and ocean whitefish recipe. It's called a loaf. Yeah, get that stuff out of there, please. So why did we switch our dog food? Our dog was reacting to it. And that's just generally what happens anytime we change to a different food. Our dog starts to react and we move on to something else, just like we would do with our kids, with ourselves. If we react to something and it has a negative impact on our life, we move on and try something better. This time, I did research for our little doxy girl, Isabel, and because of the time, we did like, I did some looking into energy and dog food. So if your dog likes to be cuddled in warm places, if they're always trying to find heat, if they're doing this, then this type of food would be best for them, this type of protein. Now, why were we looking for a different protein? Why was our dog reacting? From what I understand, a lot of dogs actually react to chicken. And I didn't know that. And we've had different reactions from our dogs over the years. And what we were having happen with Bella this time was that she was constantly getting ear infections. And we couldn't figure out why. And when I talked to a few very knowledgeable dog people, they said change her protein. A lot of dogs are allergic to chicken. So if your dog's having a lot of ear infections or yeast infections in their ears, itching at their paws, shaking their ears, things like that. Things that they're obviously bothered, they have allergies. It's very possible it's a food protein problem. So I looked into the energy and the different things because just trying to figure out what would work best for them. And, oh man, toddlers, just looking over and seeing what they're doing is great. But this said it would be a really good fit for our dog. And within about 4 days of switching over, after the first week of integrating this with her other food and then fully switching over, her ears were perfectly clear without any antibiotics or anything, and she's stayed that way. So, very excited. I've seen great success with this. Not every dog food is going to fit every dog. However, I do highly suggest raw. And if your dog is dealing with any sort of constant ear infections, yeast infections in their ears, gnawing at their paws, and our old vet would say it was just allergies and they're fine. It's very possible they're having a reaction to their food, so it's something to look into, a different protein source. If you're not going to do raw, try a different kibble. So instead of chicken, do lamb or duck or fish. There's a bunch of different types of things in the market. I would say towards from Arcanine? I forget what it's called. The higher end of the kibble, just because there's a lot of fillers and nastiness in a lot of the dog foods. Sadly, it's not regulated very well. And before you go buying dog food, I would highly suggest looking into if they have lawsuits, because there's a lot of dog food companies that have lawsuits, and if you call them and ask them about it, they will lie and say it's not there. That happened with me and Blue Buffalo, because we were having problems like actually finding really big clumps of like hard food in our bags, and they were like, oh no, there's no lawsuits, and then you look it up and there's several lawsuits, and then it came out a few years later that there was lead in their dog food. It's crazy. So when you're using a dog food, I highly suggest looking into it much deeper, because it is a very big industry and these animals are important to us. And it might cost a little bit more, but the amount of money I've spent on getting my dog's yeast infections in their ears fixed is more than enough. That would get me to feed them raw. If I never have to take them to the doctor again for that. Oh my gosh, so annoying. So, yes, it's a lot of waste. It's a lot of plastic. I know. However, that's what we got. So, what's nice is it has these little measurements on the side. So, you can just easily cut through. Or at least this is how I do it. I haven't found a better way yet. And you just plop it out. Plop it out. You can, I have found this at PetSmart. I'm not sure where else sells it, but I found it at PetSmart. So we got 2 loaves here. Just seal it back up, put it in the fridge. I'll be right back. Toddler poop. My toddler took her diaper off and ran away. And it had poop in it. So, back to the video. I am going to cut the loaf. Cut the loaf. Cut the loaf. So I'm going to do this. And then, yeah, I do have some. The eggs are gone. You ate them all? Good job.
Can you help me find them?
Hold on.
I can't find them.
Hold on, I'm making the puppy food, okay? So, it's all cut up. I shall show you. Just cut up like this. It just makes them easier for them. And then, I do have some coconut oil. So, I cook a lot with coconut oil. I have to warm it up. And so, when I have extra, it's nice to just drizzle along the top. My dogs love coconut oil. It's really good for them. I'm not giving you any facts on that one because I can't think of why it's good for them. I remember looking into it, and it was. So is avocado oil, surprisingly. Little known fact, my dog got into avocado oil once, and I broke down thinking it was going to die, and Googled it, and it was like, no, it's really good for them. And I was like, I don't understand this, but okay. Thea, can you please get out of that water? That's why I didn't want to give you a cup of water.
I love play with my toys in the water.
No. So, CBD oil, same one as last time. I am going to get a different one, and I'll update you guys when I do, because I'm almost out of this one. Do 10 of that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But this is the kind we have. I got it at our dog's chiropractor. Yes, our dog goes to a chiropractor because she has back problems and we want her to live a long life and not pay 10 grand for surgery. They gave us this. It is CBD oil, and so I've been giving him these, and Spring is a chicken, and my other dog is getting better. But our dog Rusty is having arthritis issues. So arthritis, we're getting his teeth fixed soon, which is actually what I'm going to move on to next. I'm going to put in his food. He has a mouth infection. So I've been putting a little bit of silver on his food so that could help fight the infection. Silver is something that was used very much so about 100 or so years ago for treating things, and it showed it was the antibiotic of its time. And then when we produced antibiotics, they stopped using silver. However, it still has some pretty great, amazing properties, and I would highly suggest looking into it. Hold on a second, because I hear ripping. I'm back. But you can get this at Vitamin Shop. That's where I get mine. I got a little one. And we've definitely gone through it, so I'm probably gonna get the big bottle next time. We all use it. It's really good. Do your own research. That's what I always say when I'm here. Do your own research. Decide what you feel is best for you and your dogs. I have a homeopathic vet. Love her. If you know me, if you're close to me or my area, I will send you her information. Hold on one more time. Man, toddlers. Yes, do your own research. I highly suggest looking into stuff for yourself. Everything. Long-term effects of everything. And if there's an alternative way that you could try it. As you can hear, my dogs are crying. They know their food is coming. So this is another thing from last time. It's called Plaque Off. From what I understand, it's just seaweed. You sprinkle it on their food, and it helps the plaque break down. I also found out that you can actually pop plaque off of dogs' teeth. You use a plaque scraper or your nail, and you can just pop the plaque off of your dog's teeth. Didn't know that. So that helps break it down. And then Rusty's food, this is Bella's, this is Rusty's. Rusty's food gets a little bit of turmeric because it helps with the joints. Our holistic vet gave us some, or didn't give us, bought him some tablets, and he just can't chew them because his teeth are not good. He won't take it from me. He'll take it from Billy, but he won't take it from me. So I looked into turmeric because, again, I was talking to some dog people and they suggested making a golden paste, but I find it easier to just sprinkle a little bit on their food with the coconut oil and stuff like that. And he's gotten leaps and bounds better just from doing that. So I highly suggest looking into it. Look into everything, research everything that's going into your bodies, your dog's bodies, anybody, because your bodies are so important in the long run. So let's get these dogs their food. Bringing them the food.
I think they like it. Oh, it's so yummy. Some doggy ASMR. Doggy mukbang.
And that's their food. If you have any questions, I will answer them down below. I can always tell our whole journey with their dog food, which I kind of did today, but if you want a more in-depth look at it, their health history, what we're doing, and maybe Bella's backstory, just let me know, and I'll tell it. Alright, see you guys next time. Bye!